Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Good evening. Today, I am going to elaborate about the DG-ISPR press conference, the background briefing that he gave to the senior journalists. Um, I also attended this briefing, and he started with the terrorism operations that the security forces of Pakistan, including Pakistan Army, the paramilitary forces, the police in KPK, especially because the focus was, in fact, our border on the KP side with Afghanistan and the situation through which we are passing at the moment. He, in fact, started by giving certain figures. He said that 62,000 intelligence-based operations were conducted against the terrorists, both in Balochistan as well as in KP, but the greater number was in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa. Then he said that during this period, 1,667 terrorists, they were being killed, both in KP as well as Balochistan, and 582 security forces, including our officers and the soldiers. They paid a huge price, and they were being martyred during these operations. He said that during these operations, Khyber district and its Tehsil Tira was being focused by the security forces, and their 508 terrorists were only killed in this Khyber district. Then he explained that why people, because we conduct thousands of operations, and if we calculate them per day, 208 operations are being conducted by the security forces, the intelligence based these operations. He said that most of the time there is a question that why terrorism is not ending, why it is not eliminating from these two provinces. So he said that there is a nexus between the politicians, the elders of those certain areas, and then there is a crime, and then there is a terrorism. So these are the nexus: the terrorists, the criminals, the drug, and the political patronage which is being extended to the drug trafficking as well as smuggling, to protection to the terrorists as well as protection to the criminals. That is the nexus which is creating a big challenge, the security challenge to the Pakistan and Pakistan security forces. Then he said that he was just elaborating that 12,000 acre area is cultivated opium in only in Khyber district, and 1 acre land, gives you the price of 22.5 million, 2.5 million for 1 acre. So you can just imagine that how much amount and the big money is involved in this drug. And he also said that on across Pakistani border is a Nangarhar province of Afghanistan, where the ice, the opium, and the hashish, all these are being produced there, and then it is transported to Pakistan, and then naturally it reaches to our youth in the colleges, universities, schools, and they are damaging the youth of Pakistan. So this is one of the reasons. He was in fact giving these details. This is one of the reasons that there are certain people in those areas which are against operations, against the terrorists and the criminals, because their personal interest is involved into it. They make a lot of money out of it, even people living across, and the big chunk of the money naturally goes to the terrorists, where even it goes up to the TTA, Tehrik Taliban Afghanistan. It also goes to them. It goes to TTP. It goes to other these terrorist groups, where they get money they get the weapons, and they are being, given tasks to attack on Pakistan forces as well as the civilians and create law and order situation inside Pakistan. So other than the Indian actions, also the dgispr also highlighted the Taliban, Afghan Taliban regime, Indian and Nexus, which is naturally everybody knows how the Afghan foreign minister during this entire, last month for 10, 12 days, for almost 2 weeks, he remained there, and he was passing a very negative and provocative statements against Pakistan. And they were not willing to take this responsibility and accept this reality that their soil is being used by the terrorists against Pakistan. And this is, he said that this is the only agenda point in the talks with Taliban regime, starting from Doha to the Ankara, Istanbul, where the two rounds of talks were held between Pakistan and Afghanistan. This Afghan Taliban regime being mediated and facilitated by Qatar as well as Turkey, the two friendly nations and the countries of Pakistan. Then, he also explained that there was a national action plan which was being agreed by all the political leadership of Pakistan um, in 2014, when the APS unfortunate incident took place, where the hundreds of our young children was being massacred by the terrorists, which were emanating from Afghanistan, which had a communication system at that time with Afghanistan. So uh, after that, National Action Plan was being signed, agreed. The 14 points were being agreed by the political leadership of Pakistan, various political parties, including those political parties which remained in power, those who are still in the power, that there would be the forces were clear the area, they will hold that, the security of that area, and then hand over to the civilian administration, the civil administration, the civilian government. But whenever it was handed over to the civilians, once again, all these, the elders of those areas, the political leadership of that area, some of them, they once again invited and were, opened their door for the terrorists. And that is one of the problems that we, still having this menace inside our country. He said that then he spoke about the last month operation. I mean, when the Afghanistan attacked on Pakistan on the 9th of October, then Pakistan responded to them. And during that counter attack on Afghanistan, he said that 1,200 Khawarij, I mean, these terrorists were being killed, and 206 Afghan security forces, they were also being killed in that counter attack by Pakistan, naturally. And he said that this is the most credible information that was being gathered. It took time, otherwise we could have given a kind of a immediate statement, but we didn't until it was being there was a authenticity, there was a factual information gathered from the various sources. And that's why it was being revealed today that 1,200 terrorists inside Afghanistan was being killed by Pakistani forces, and 206 Afghan regime forces were also being killed. Then he also spoke about the social media propaganda which is going on against Pakistan and Pakistani forces. Uh, he said that for last maybe 1 or 2 months, most probably one month after this that Pakistan attacked on Afghanistan and then killed their people. What they did, the Afghan media and the Afghan political leadership, I mean these Taliban regime, they started propagating against Pakistan. They were disseminating fake news. Like one example, the gave about, their spokesperson, the official spokesperson of Afghanistan. He said that, Pakistani tank has been captured by the Taliban and it has been taken to Kabul, and it is being displayed to the people that we have, conquered. We have in fact captured Pakistani tank, which was a fake news. Then there is a series of news that we can see, on the social media. And I always say that the director, the writer, and the producer of the Taliban is sitting in New Delhi. They may be sitting somewhere else as well, but they are carrying the ideology, the ideas, the theme of Modi government, a terrorist, which has destabilized the entire region last year, but they were being they were being countered by the Pakistan forces, Pakistan Air Force, Pakistan Army, Pakistan Navy, in a very strong manner, and that's why the Modi is still under pressure, and the tri-services exercises which are going to be conducted by the Indian Army, Navy, Air Force in the Indian as well as Arabian Ocean and those areas, it is only to satisfy their public. Uh, so the social media propaganda against Pakistan by the Afghan leadership, political leadership, I mean their Afghan Taliban, as well as their media, supported by the Indians, the Indian, and he said that the Indian media like India Today, their newspapers, their individual journalists, they follow the same pattern, and then they go on the Twitter or on the other social platforms. They disseminate the propaganda and fake news against Pakistan. And then he said that Afghanistan is a country where Islamic State, that Khorasan, they also operating from Afghanistan. TTP is also operating from Afghanistan. ETM is also operating from Afghanistan. IMU, ISIS, and there are a number of others. These terrorist organizations and groups, they are operating from inside Afghanistan, and it has been conveyed to the international community that this is going to create. The Pakistan is facing the heat, these problems, and it is feeling the heat of these the terrorists and the other countries, as they have been saying that the other neighbors, the five neighbors of Afghanistan, they don't have any problem, but they do have a problem. They do have a concern about these terrorist groups. Then you talk about the talks, as I have already told you, that Pakistan is a single point agenda. What is that single point? Uh, Both in Doha as well as in Turkey, Pakistan said that the Taliban regime has to give the guarantee, has to, hold on these terrorists, and they should give us in writing that their soil, the land of Afghanistan, will not be used by these terrorists against Pakistan. They have to give in writing. But naturally, the talks went, there was extensive talks in Turkey. The series of discussions went on. Even those who participated from Afghanistan side, they do agreed. But then naturally, Kabul was sending the messages to the negotiating team, and Kabul was being directed by the New Delhi. So it was the Indians, in fact, who were controlling these talks, and that's why so far we didn't see a substantial. But again, the press release which were being issued by the Turkish Foreign Ministry, they identified the 2 points. One was the monitoring on the border. The second was verification. So verification of whom? All those people who are crossing inside Pakistan, they must be verified. They must have a valid documents. If other country cannot allow, the foreigners to cross their border without a legal documents, why should Pakistan do that? So that was also a part of the, briefing and the discussion that Pakistan is holding with the Taliban regime, that they have to give us a guarantee that their soil is not going to be utilized. Then he also said that since this government, which is creating, a problem for even the Afghan people, their policies are such that the people of Afghanistan are going to suffer. If they are going to have a nexus with India, naturally they are going to bring, a problem and trouble to the people of Afghanistan, who are now suffering from whatever actions the Taliban regime has taken in last maybe 2 months, or for last 4 years. Their own people, their women, their children, the community, the other communities. That's why the DG was saying that there should be a representative government where majority of the ethnic groups are included into the government, and there should be a representative, broad-based representative government in Afghanistan, so that they can take action, a policy which is in the interest of the Afghan people of Afghanistan. So there was a question on him that is there any plan of a regime change over. So the DG was very clear. He said that we have nothing to do with that. It is the people of Afghanistan. They have to think about their future. They have to think about their country. They have to think about their benefits, since the trade is being blocked for last almost 20 days. So who is suffering? The people of Afghanistan are suffering. So that is the main, that is the main crux, that there should be such kind of a group which is sitting in Kabul and creating problems for their neighbors, a country like Pakistan, from where uh, um, maximum their trade passes through Pakistan, enters into Afghanistan. So naturally, who is suffering? The people of Afghanistan are suffering. Then he said that the propaganda, the Afghan Indian Nexus propaganda, they recently, by using artificial intelligence, they circulated the Russian president, a statement against Pakistan army, where he was warning and threatening the Pakistan army, which was a fake. In fact, the Russian embassy in Islamabad, they have to clarify. They have to issue a clarification on this fake news which were being circulated on the social media by the Afghan Indian Nexus. Then the DG also talk about the Doha Agreement, which in 2020 the Taliban regime signed with the Americans. They have also violated that. In that they agreed that the Afghanistan land or soil would not be used against any country in the world, including the neighbors. But naturally today, mm, their land and their soil is being used, and they have become proxies, the Indian proxies. Even the Afghan Taliban has become the proxies of India, and which is a dangerous sign, not only for the region, I mean for the neighbors, but for the people of Afghanistan. Then he said that they need a representative government where the rights of the women and the should also be protected. The rights of the other ethnic groups should also be protected. The DG also spoke about this Hijaz Malaha, because he said that the Indians are holding tri-services joint exercises in the Indian Ocean, as well as closer to the Arabian Ocean. And he said that they may try to have a false flag operation, um, uh, in the ocean area, because previously, um whatever false flag operations were being held by the Indians, they could not provide any evidence to either to us or to their own people or to the international community. So now they are taking this to the ocean. Naturally, it is very difficult for the people to, mm, uh, if they bring a kind of a Indian movie which they are going to maybe they are planning to produce this, because this Ijaz, who was arrested by security forces of Pakistan, he was carrying, um, Pakistan Army and Pakistan Forces uniform, and the other things that he was carrying, which was being explained by the information minister along with our state minister for interior the other day. So they, this is another effort by the Indians, that they may mislead the international community and make their own people fool that this is how Pakistani forces are, or they were conducting any operation against the Indians, and they have arrested them, or they have whatever, they had the plan, but that plan is being that plan is not going to be executed, as Mr. Ijaz has been arrested and he's under the custody of the security forces of Pakistan. So these are some of the, and then naturally there was a question answer session. He also said that uh, the politics should not be uh, included into the country's security, and it should not be seen through the lens. The political approach should be different from the national security. Terrorism should not be, mixed up with the country's politics. This is what he was saying, and then naturally, there was a question on that the same Taliban have been living inside Pakistan for a long time. They have been supported by Pakistani, various governments. So today they are against Pakistan. So I have my personal assessment as well that the countries do have a one policy at a one point of time. If you see the Americans have a different policy towards various countries in the world. But today they, even recently, the Americans held the American President Donald Trump held a negotiation with the President Xi of China. So still they are, they are in a competition from defense point of view or from economic point of view. But they keep on talking with each other. They do, keep on working on a give and take kind of a situation uh, to keep on moving the relations forward. So Pakistan must have been, supporting at what time these Talibans. But naturally, today, what their action is, the DG said that we have to judge these Taliban regime from their actions. Their actions are against Pakistan. They have just, shook a hand with our enemy who was defeated in May. And today they are sitting with them side by side and threatening Pakistan. So, and naturally, uh, if they have a relation with Indians, okay, no problem. But they should not have a relation with Indians damaging Pakistani security, killing Pakistani children, killing Pakistani students, killing Pakistani armed forces and the civilians. And so therefore, we have to judge their actions today instead of just remaining in the history in the past. So today the Taliban, they are they are like the political face of these TTP, and TTP is a militant face of the TTA, Afghan Taliban. So this was what the DG today in his briefing has given a detail about the western border, or terrorist counter-terrorism operations, or counter-terrorism the strategy or the policy which is being taken by Pakistan. And then he said that the DG said that this TTA Indian Nexus, is going to be taken care of by the Afghan people, as I have said earlier. Um, in the nutshell, we can say that the entire this briefing was about the terrorism which is being conducted from Afghanistan and Pakistan is very much clear. and DG said that our 1 point agenda, we will stand on our 1 point agenda, that Taliban has to, Taliban regime has to control these terrorists, and they have to be clear about it, because during those discussions in Doha as well as in Turkey, Pakistan has given a substantial evidence of involvement of, the terrorist these leadership which is inside Afghanistan, and the training camps that they have inside Afghanistan, closer to Pakistani borders in the various districts of Afghanistan, and then the TTA, the Tariq-e-Taliban, I mean Afghan Taliban, close association with all these terrorist groups. So we have given substantial, constructive, evidence to our friends uh, who are mediating these talks in Qatar as well as the Turkey, and they have agreed whatever we Pakistan has presented to them, and so now it is up to the Taliban that they have to fulfill the promises they made to the international community as well as to the Pakistan. Pakistani security will not be decided inside Kabul. This was what the DG said. It would not be decided inside Afghanistan or Kabul or dictated from there. It is the people of Pakistan and the government of Pakistan, the security forces of Pakistan, who has to, independently decide about the security of Pakistan. So much of the discussion was on the western border and the operations which were being conducted. And he also said that the war against terrorism has to be successful on the basis of when there is a single narrative and unity of purpose and unity of narrative from political side as well as from the government side, the provincial government, the federal government, everybody, all those stakeholders who are part of it has to be on a, they should be on the same page. Then they would, we can counter these terrorists. But as far as the Pakistani government policy is concerned, it is very clear that they will not allow any terrorist group or any country to harm the peace and security of Pakistan. Thank you.